Force Major's wife disappears in the night. Happened next is chilling. Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Tonight's case is as chilling as it is tragic. A successful businesswoman, a decorated Air Force major, and what appeared to be the perfect family. But behind closed doors, secrets were festering. And then one day, she vanished. Andreen McDonald seemed to have it all. $1 million company, a loving daughter, and a life built from the ground up with her husband, Andre. But in March 2019, that picture-perfect world shattered when Andreen failed to show up to work or the gym, something she never missed. What began as a missing person case would soon unravel into something far more sinister. From a suspicious burn site in the backyard, to a secret affair uncovered, to a haunting confession in court, this story is full of twists, cover-ups, and heartbreak. So, what really happened to Andreen McDonald? And did justice truly prevail? Let's dive into one of Texas's most disturbing true crime stories. Andreen McDonald wasn't just a mother and wife. She was a self-made entrepreneur, a powerhouse of determination, and the heartbeat of her family. Born and raised in Jamaica, she met U.S. Air Force Major Andreen McDonald in 2009. Their whirlwind romance led her to San Antonio, Texas, where they married and welcomed a daughter. With laser focus, Andreen earned a finance degree and built a successful business, Starlight Homes, turning it into a multi-million-dollar assisted living empire. She was the definition of driven. Even with a packed schedule, Andreen never missed a workout. So when she didn't show up to her gym or to work on the morning of March 1, 2019, alarms went off immediately. Friends couldn't reach her. Her mother couldn't get her on the phone. And when Andre was contacted at work, he said he'd head home to look for her. What happened next would spark suspicion that's never quite gone away. Andreen McDonald went home, then promptly left again. This time he drove to a local hospital, allegedly to see if Andreen had checked in. Surveillance footage captured him speaking to staff. He even got a room number. But instead of going to see who was inside, he turned around and left. He told investigators he needed to return home to grab his cell phone and call Andreen's mother. But when her family followed up, they discovered the horrifying truth. Andreen was not at the hospital. She wasn't anywhere. She was missing. When deputies arrived at the McDonald residence that day, they were met with a deeply unsettling sight. Burn marks on the gravel behind the house, a scorched patch that looked suspiciously like an impromptu fire pit. Scattered nearby were burned items. The investigators asked Andre about it, but he had nothing to say. He invoked his right to remain silent and retained a lawyer immediately. Inside the home, Andreen's purse, keys, wallet, and phone were all found. All the essentials she would have needed if she had left voluntarily were untouched. Her friends and family were adamant. This was not a woman who would just disappear. Andreen's mother told police about a party she had thrown for Andre just 2 weeks earlier, his 40th birthday. On the surface, things looked fine, but cracks were already forming. According to messages retrieved by detectives, their marriage had been strained for a long time. On trips to Jamaica, Andreen had rekindled an old romance with a man named Oba. She even tattooed his initial and birthday on her body. Tattoos Andre discovered shortly after one of her trips. That discovery nearly led to a divorce. She promised to stop seeing Aubin and never return to Jamaica. But Andre never really trusted her again. The night before she vanished, Andre discovered that Andreen had secretly opened a new business without telling him. The argument turned heated. Surveillance footage confirmed that Andre left the house and went to a nearby gas station to cool off. But the text messages between them that night painted a picture of chaos. Andreen threatened divorce. By morning, she was gone. As investigators continued digging, they discovered even more chilling details. Andre had been acting strangely, detached, and emotionless. And when they began tailing him, things escalated fast. On March 2nd, just one day after Andreen was reported missing, detectives observed Andre purchasing a shovel, an axe, heavy-duty trash bags, gloves, and 2 5-gallon containers of gasoline. A torn receipt and security footage confirmed the purchase. He had tried to destroy the receipt, but investigators recovered it. This wasn't just suspicious, it was terrifying. It looked like Andre was preparing to dispose of a body. The next day, police arrested him for tampering with evidence and booked him into the Bezar County Jail. A search of his vehicle revealed clothing with blood, a burn barrel, and a hammer, later confirmed to contain Andreen's blood. He was released on bond a month later, but without a body, there could be no murder charge. Weeks turned into months. The search for Andreen stretched across San Antonio. Friends, family, law enforcement, and volunteers refused to give up. Then, in July, 5 months after her disappearance, a man searching for animal bones stumbled upon remains in a brush-filled area off Specht Road, just 6 miles from the McDonald home. The medical examiner confirmed what everyone feared. It was Andreen. She had been stripped, beaten, and burned. The cause of death? Homicidal violence, blunt force trauma. With the discovery of her body, authorities finally had the evidence they needed. Andreen McDonald was charged with murder. But the case would take yet another twist. In 2023, 4 years later, Andreen McDonald finally went on trial. At first, he pled not guilty. His defense, self-defense. He claimed Andreen had attacked him, and he stomped her in retaliation. That, he said, caused her fatal injuries. But the evidence told another story. Forensic experts testified that her skull injuries were not consistent with being stomped. They believed she was struck repeatedly with a blunt object, most likely the bloodied hammer found at the McDonald residence. And then came Andre's chilling courtroom confession. Under oath, he admitted to burning his wife's naked body, pouring gasoline over her remains, and leaving her in the brush. The jury listened in stunned silence. Despite the horrific details, the jury returned a verdict of manslaughter, not murder. Andreen McDonald received the maximum penalty for manslaughter in Texas, 20 years. But because of time served, he'll be eligible for parole in just 7.5 years. In court, Andreen's daughter, only 7 years old at the time, read a letter addressed to the man who took her mother away. "You killed my mother. You took away my life and broke my heart." And with that, the final word didn't belong to Andreen. It belonged to the little girl left behind, forever scarred by a crime that justice couldn't fully mend. Justice may have been served, but was it enough? A woman who built her life from the ground up, who raised a daughter, loved fiercely, and dreamed boldly, was reduced to a case file, a set of burned remains, and a courtroom confession. Andreen McDonald's story is not just about betrayal or violence. It's about the painful cracks in what seemed like the perfect life. It's about a system that sometimes falls short, and a sentence that many feel doesn't fit the crime. Her daughter will grow up without a mother, and possibly one day see her father walk free. And the question still lingers. How many warning signs went ignored? Thank you for watching. If you believe stories like this need to be heard, please like, comment, and subscribe to our channel. We'll continue to share the truth, no matter how disturbing it is, because every victim deserves to be remembered.